What up, people? So Manny Pacquiao, Chris Algieri last night in Macau, China, and as I expected and many expected, Manny Pacquiao scores a unanimous, lopsided decision over the very tough Chris Algieri. I thought Pacquiao would stop Algieri, and to credit Algieri, he's tough as shit because that ninth round left hand that landed on Algieri, I thought that was a wrap from that point, but he hung in there, got dropped again. I mean, he got dropped a total, I think, 5 times in the fight, even though some of them were slippages in the corner. Algieri gave Pacquiao good movement early on in the fight, and the trend with Manny Pacquiao is, if you give him movement and you make him chase you, it's a little harder for him to get his shots off, but at the same time, he's still so awkward, and the way he throws his punches, just from all these angles and coming up, going down, and it's really tough to gauge, as good of a defensive fighter Algieri was, and he made it tough for Pacquiao to land, but eventually Pacquiao started landing these little right hooks that he's developed over the years, and there was a left hand he landed earlier in the fight before he got dropped that seemed to stagger or really get the attention of Algieri to be like, okay, he could hit. To credit Algieri, he had good defense, and the problem really inevitably was he wasn't throwing enough punches, and I think a lot of it was just he didn't want to get caught. And I think through the course of the fight before the knockdown, he was feeling some of Pacquiao's shots, and it was just crazy or really funny when they were interviewing the corner, and they were saying, yeah, he's gonna open up, and immediately after that he gets dropped with that left hand. There's really not a lot to gauge for Manny Pacquiao in this. I mean, I think he looked just as good as he did in the Bradley fight, and Algieri's not a Timothy Bradley level, but I scored it a landslide for Manny Pacquiao. I mean, you could say there were rounds that Chris Algieri looked good, but inevitably he just didn't throw enough. And if you don't throw enough, you're not going to be in the fight, no matter if he's in China or in New York or what have you. I mean, regardless of where this fight is, I mean, people were saying, oh, it being in China is a big edge to Pacquiao, but I'm like, at the same time, it's Manny Pacquiao. He's going to have an edge anywhere he goes. But again, you're not going to have success against Manny Pacquiao if you are going to be a passive offensive fighter. And that's not to say that he had to exchange with Pacquiao, but he had to be busy countering Pacquiao just as busy Pacquiao was trying to get off on him. So that's the struggle that, really a lot of fans tend to forget with Manny Pacquiao. I mean, you're not going to find a lot of guys, at least at the point where Pacquiao is extended, that have totally dominated Pacquiao. I mean, Eric Morales, Marquez, and you can say Marquez in the third fight, in my opinion, beat him, but not by a long margin, again, you have to keep up with Manny Pacquiao's pace, and that's, again, another thing that people tend to forget, and I think what really caught Algieri. And he's a good athlete, and that's the thing. I think he was in good condition, and I think that's, he was able to take Manny Pacquiao's shot, and even from the knockdown, and get up and be able to survive, even in the case where there were times where he was in retreat mode. But all in all, I mean, I'm not surprised with the outcome of this fight. And the obvious, again, elephant in the room is whether Mayweather and Pacquiao are going to fight. And there's obviously been stories that I haven't even reported about because it's just hearsay at this point. But, there's this whole thing with Bob Arum saying that, there's negotiations with Floyd and Pacquiao. And who are we to believe, man? At this point, it's... just give it to us or leave us be, man. I don't know what Pacquiao does from this point. It really is a big question mark. There's been names in the past as far as Danny Garcia, and I'd actually like to see that fight, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind seeing it. And you could throw names here and there, but there's only one fight, really, man, that both of these guys really need to take, and it's each other, Mayweather and Pacquiao. But from here on out, man, I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do to keep Pacquiao's relevance afloat with guys that are not gonna be um, prime time opponents to make big money. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Pacquiao. So with Chris Algieri, I mean, I think he's gonna get fights, features on HBO, because I mean, I think he's gonna be at 140. I mean, they were saying they were gonna strip the belt from him. I mean, I think that would be bullshit if they did that. They should let him keep the belt, because that'll just open him up to other fights with like a Matisse, or I don't know if Danny will be, I mean, I don't think that fight will happen, but just, I guess, guys in that Broner. I mean, that would be an interesting fight. So we'll just have to wait and see. So as I always say, subscribe, hit the links, and I'll be back with you soon.